What is going on, guys? Simmo World. From Simmo World here, back when I had a big video for y'all today. I wasn't thinking of doing a video like this, obviously, because I did just do a top 100 films all-time list, and I did do a lot of different rankings, but I really never actually done a video where I top out this subject. Where I top on my all-time list from this thing, but I think I do this. We'll top on what I think are my top 50 favorite video games of all time. We're talking about straight up video game system. I don't think I'm actually really giving you guys my thoughts on my favorite video games. So I really thought about what my list would be, obviously. Because I don't think I actually give like what would be my top 5, top 10, but I don't think give like actually like top list in general. But it's mostly because obviously there's still some certain games classics that I haven't played yet. But that's because there are like so many video games in the world and so much time-consuming games. So it's like, screw it, let's just do the list, obviously. And thankfully, I was able to find enough to do a top 8 list too. Because there might be like multiple entries from certain franchises on the list. Because I originally was going to do like a one per franchise, but it's like, well, because I still love. So if you spend multiple entries on the list, that's why. Again, these are my personal favorites. Not that I can give like the absolute best, but ones that I enjoyed the most. The ones I feel like I can actually come back to. I mean, there's still some games I've not gone back to yet, but ones I feel like I can actually generally come back to the most. And again, obviously, I have not played every single game out there. Obviously, there's probably certain classics that I have not played yet, that I have not gotten around to playing yet. Some people see me all-time list, like a lot of Nintendo games, a lot of this and that. So if they're not on the list, it's probably because I have not played it yet. But again, it's because there's so many games out there, which is why I have not done this list yet. But I figured, screw it, let's just do it. Again, this is just my personal list on why they are my personal favorites, the ones I feel like I can enjoy the most. Again, this list wasn't easy, guys. This list was easy. So I'm still like back and forth on when this should be higher or that should be higher. Like, it was not an easy list to do, guys. So bear with. Like in my top 100 films all time list, and eventually when I do my favorite TV shows as well. Please bear with me, but I still hope you guys enjoy the list nonetheless, and I would generally let us know what are your favorite video games down below in the comment section. And this is gonna be a general top 50 list, so on that stuff, I hope you guys enjoy. We're talking about my top 50 favorite video games of all time. Now, before we get to the actual top 50, let's get into the honorable mentions, because I was talking about the old 5 top 50, but thankfully also the 50 are games that I still absolutely love and adore. They just didn't make the list. Again, it was hard not putting these games on the actual list. I adore all these games, obviously. Some I actually played very recently, actually, but some games unfortunately on this list. And the honorable mention, and they might actually make the top list if I end up playing them again more, but we'll see how it goes. But let's get to it. The 50 honorable mentions are Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I actually told you I played this game a couple years ago. Assassin's Creed Origins. Final Fantasy 15. Not the only Final Fantasy on this list, by the way. Demon Souls. Yes, I finally beat a Souls game this year. Tales from the Borderlands. SpongeBob Battle for Peanut Bottom, the rehydrated version. Kingdom Hearts Melody for Memory. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Crash Bandicoot 4. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie game. The Messenger. Crash Team Racing. The Warriors. Tomb Raider The Last Revelation. Super Mario 3D World. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice and Hellblade 2. Injustice 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake. God of War 3. The Wolf Among Us. The Batman The Enemy Within. Detroit Become Human. Little Nightmares 2. Devil May Cry 3. Tales of Symphonia. Doom 2 Hell on Earth. Stray. Destroy All Humans 2. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Samurai Jack: A Battle Through Time. Tomb Raider 2013. A Hat in Time. South Park: Stick of Truth. Dead Space, the 2023 remake. Horizon Zero Dawn. Far Cry 3. Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. Lego Star Wars Complete Saga. Sonic Adventure 2. Infamous 2. Unpacking. Zelda Skyward Sword. Journey. South Park The Fractured But Whole. Paper Mario. Control. Batman Arkham Knight. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And the game that just missed my list, the OG Silent Hill 2. Again, these are all great games. They just weren't good enough to make the list, but I still love all these games. So let's now officially get to the actual top 50 favorite video games of all time. Again, just in my personal opinion, but definitely let me know your thoughts on these games down below in the comments. And again, to my note, I pretty much love all the video games we've been talking about here, so again, making this list was pretty difficult. Like, a lot of these games were definitely pretty difficult to rank, especially when I adore a lot of these games, and fortunately games I've been alone that I wouldn't normally like to, honestly. So, again, always my personal opinion, just to give you a heads up. But, to kick out the list, at number 50, my 50th favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, I'm not sure whether people like the Final Fantasy 16 is going to kick out this list. And as spoiler, it's not going to be the only Final Fantasy game you'll see on this list, but Final Fantasy 16 I thought was a game I really loved. Again, I really loved it. It's definitely a different Final Fantasy game, how it kind of feels like a more Devil May Cry or other type of RPGs that go more of an action-oriented like approach, but I honestly still love the game, honestly. And the combat was very addictive and fun. The characters actually were pretty engaging. The storytelling was a lot more interesting than I expected. I bet that was actually paced pretty well, actually. Actually, the music, like most Final Fantasy games, absolutely kicked that freaking ass. And it gets some of the most fun and epic boss fights in any Final Fantasy game. And I ever played, honestly. Like, it makes you feel immersed in this world. The characters are interesting to talk to. The quests are pretty compelling. As a friend, I have not played the DLC yet, but as a whole, this is a game I'm definitely gonna see myself come back to. There's one reason why it's only number 50. Again, that's what makes this list pretty difficult, but as right now, 50 is the perfect place for Final Fantasy 16, which I still think is a great game. Horizon Forbidden West is still a damn fantastic game. Like Forbidden West space the definition of how you do sick again. Unless Zero Dawn, it was an honorable mention. I think I actually streamed the entire game for the first time, and that was a great experience. And I probably wish I was able to do something for Forbidden West. Again, some games I wish I'd be able to stream, but just timing is always a bitch sometimes. But Forbidden West is basically a definition of what a sequel should do. Take a lot of the elements from the original and pretty much improve on what didn't work, what people didn't like, and really improve it. What makes the game so great again. Alo is a much more interesting character, the world's more expansive, a lot more interesting stuff to do. The mechanics are well defined and everything. The characters are a lot more interesting and compelling. The storytelling is fantastic here as well. And it was just a game that's just, again, not where we can immerse yourself into the world. I really care about the characters that are going on. The music kicks ass, the action really kicks ass as well. Again, it delivers on what a sequel really should deliver. And again, some of the games actually I haven't got a chance to replay yet, but this is one I can always see myself come back to. It could go up and down this ranking list, but as right now, I'd say 49 is the perfect place for Horizon Forbidden West, a fantastic sequel. There was those games that are so good from the studio that I don't think any game they try to make afterwards will top it. And for me, for Telltale, that's season 1 of The Walking Dead. A truly masterpiece of a point clip of a choose a choice adventure type of game where you feel like some areas your choices do matter in terms of the overall narrative. That's called unless that kind of like this person will remember this kind of storyline. And then some portions where you basically get some choices group be totally different in a lot of different areas and pathways you can choose, and it makes the game endlessly replayable. Playable. Like, this is definitely some of the best storytelling The Walking Dead has done. Lee Everett's a fantastic main character, and his relationship with Clementine is so great. Because of how video games he's always delivered with the whole father and daughter dynamic, where especially characters that aren't really father and daughter. And this game absolutely delivers. The graphics are really well done. The choices, some points matter, and really are emotional. And some don't matter, but there's still pretty emotional moments. And there are some genuine good surprises that happen throughout. That's like, holy shit, as well. That's what ends up has one of the most emotionally poignant endings in any video game. And the fortunate thing about this game is that Telltale was able to replicate that success. As well, there are some great games that come from the were in the honorable mentions. Batman didn't win until spoilers. I think Batman anyway was my favorite at one point. Looking back, The Walking Dead Season 1 is Telltale's magnum opus, and no matter how much they I mean, they have played some great games with The Wolf Among Us, the game Batman Anyway did, and Tales of Borderlands, which I did beat very recently. I don't think any game will come close to this season. Now, for those who don't know what I consider to be my favorite gaming franchise, I would always say Ratchet and Clank is my favorite. I absolutely adore this series. It's the definition of a comfort series, in my opinion. I absolutely adore this series to no end. And spoiler, this is going to be the only Ratchet Clank game you'll see on this list. Let's not be biased or anything, but as of right now, number 47 is Ratchet Clank Future Tools of Destruction. I never went back and forth between this game and Deadlock for this part. I always go so back and forth with those games. Those games, and while Tools Destruction Dev does have issues, it's a game that, again, it could be nostalgia bias, honestly, but I still absolutely adore this game. I recently went back to this game, actually, and I had so much fun revisiting it. And it's when they go to a more character story focused direction, especially focused on Ratchet and the Zlombax and all that stuff, and also the Zonies and everything, and they really do deliver on that front. We're having some really emotional moments, some really nice surprises, fantastic gameplay. Again, what do you know about every Ratchet Clank game, now, and we'll definitely get into that, is that a lot of them do feel very samey, but they always do things to make it stand out and make it feel different. So it doesn't feel like you feel like playing the same game over and over again. And I mean, like the French Clank phrase is the definition of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The tool function is definition. There's not really any big changes in this game aside from the devices they add into this game. But you still get a lot of great exploration, the exploring, the skill points, the gold bolts, the boss battles, the great guns. Like what you expect from a good Ratchet Clank game is in this game. I think it's actually a pretty underappreciated game in the franchise, in my opinion. I think the future franchise is actually underappreciated, in my opinion. Again, it could be nostalgia bias talking because I play this game constantly. If I remember correctly, this game actually was the reason why I got PS3, or at least why I wanted to get PS3. So yeah, Tools of Destruction is also the first game that I actually stayed up all night playing. That's how good it was. So yeah, Tools of Destruction, still a great game. I didn't all that stuff alone puts it in this top list. But and that's for Ohio because it does have its issues, but it's a game that does hold a special place in my heart enough to where it ends up making the top 50. Resident Evil. Resident Evil 7 is a great game. Like I remember streaming this game, and I remember being like so terrified. Like this was a game that brought back Resident Evil to basically its roots, and what made the franchise so good in the first place. But before that, went to more focused direction, and now they really go all out with this entry, and for good reason because it is a fantastic entry in the franchise. Well, it goes with the scares, it goes with the frightness, like the areas of the level are just so terrifying and they really make it look terrifying. But that way, a really compelling narrative that makes you really invested in what goes on. Really great villains throughout the season. And if it wasn't the fact that I had a praise shift on my boss, it would make it so much higher on this list. And the Latin Empire doesn't help either, but the final boss kind of sucks, and that's the only reason why it's only 46, but it's still great. The highs are enough to put it at number 46. Earlier this year, I actually ended up being playing through a shit ton of Sonic games, and there's still a few I'm still playing. Like as I'm filming this, I'm currently playing the Sonic Adventure games, so who knows if they actually could have made this list. Honestly, I'll definitely let you guys know. And the best right now, my favorite Sonic game is Sonic Mania. When they took the franchise back to its roots in the old school era, and it really delivers on what you want from a Sonic game, where it does go for the old school Sonic, but in the best possible way. The levels are really fun. The boss battles are great. Like it basically has the perfect Sonic package rolled into one, and the fun aspect and the fun and possible replayability that he puts it to where it is at 45. Now, another favorite franchise of mine is Kingdom Hearts, and yeah, Kingdom Hearts. So of course, a few of the games were going to make this list. And I did debate between this game and another Kingdom Hearts game, but in the end, 44, I went above by sleep. I definitely debated between this game and Melody of Memory, and I was debating because I couldn't make this list because it is a fantastic rating game, in my opinion, but in the end, I decided to just go above by sleep, which I think is actually a bit of an underappreciated game. I mean, it's known and loved, but I know it does have some issues that I don't really think of. I know it has the issues, I know it does have its haters, but I've always loved Above by Sleep. I mean, yeah, some characters are not the most smartest in the world, but I still love the three trios. I still love the perspectives and everything, how some elements that really did tie into the original games. I love the combat, I love the battle system, I love the shuttle laws, I love what they implement in this game, and why I mess with the franchise, and you get some of the most emotional moments in any Kingdom Hearts game in this game. Especially if you have all three stories and you see what happens in the end, like, holy shit, does it get real. As always, the music's fantastic, the world is really great. It's a game that, like a lot of Kingdom Hearts franchise, I always endlessly replay so much. I still haven't actually 100% it, but I know going for 100% this game is pretty brutal, but as right now, Put Back Sleep is still a fantastic game. Does it have issues? Yeah, but the highs definitely elevate the lows, or the highs are so high that the lows don't really matter. Tales of the Abyss. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned this, but I actually did play this game a couple years ago. I totally blanked on it for some reason, but it's like, oh yeah, that was a fantastic game. I finally did get around to playing this game, and it is just as good as everybody says. The only reason why it's only number 43 on the list is really not any about the game. Like, it is a fantastic game, great combat, great story, has probably one of the best character arcs in any game. Period. Someone who basically just a whiny brat ends up becoming a fantastic running character. It's a game I've only played once though. It's a game I've only played through the entirety of once. But it's a game I definitely do want to go back to again. Again, some games I have not replayed because some of them are very long or I'm always from other stuff. So that's probably why some of these probably be a bit lower than you would expect because, well, some of them I've not had a chance to replay yet. I mean, if you've seen the games, you probably won't understand why. But as right now, Tales of the Abyss is still a fantastic game. Like, it could potentially go higher on this list, but considering I have not had a chance to replay yet, it's still a worthy experience. I'm definitely excited to play for the other Tales games in the future. And now we get to the first two LEGO games on this list, and that is the original LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Again, in that case, where it could be nostalgia times, I played this game so much when it came out. Again, I love the LEGO franchise. I think a few of them were my honorable mentions, if I remember correctly. And I pretty much love and enjoy them, honestly, and they're like they're pretty much my comfort games. And for me, so I know a couple of those games could make this list, and for me, Lego Marvel Superheroes is definitely the game that ends up making this list. Again, we play a lot of Marvel characters. It's at least the one I got back to very often. The levels are some of my favorites in the Lego franchise. I'm actually doing like a favorite best Lego list in some point in the future. Again, sometimes the whole open world aspect, a lot of different things to do, the Deadpool levels. It's just a really fun, exhilarating experience. The story's fun, the characters are fun, and it's kind of what you expect from a Marvel project at this point, but it's the best possible one. It's just so fun and endlessly replayable. Another favorite franchise of mine is the Jak and Daxter franchise. I absolutely adore this series so much, and I love a lot of these games, so of course a couple of them we're going to make this list. And the first one I'm talking about is, I've always said to be my favorite for the longest time, but I didn't think about, but yeah, I know 1.1, we have Jak 3. Again, I've always loved Jak 3, honestly, so yeah. Well, I think a lot of people would prefer Jak 2, or a lot of people don't really huge on Jak 3. Again, it's not a case where it could be nostalgia. I will highly admit that. But I just can't deny how much fun I had playing this game. And I always adored coming back to this game. It basically expands on the Jak 2. It's a lot less forgiving than Jak 2. Thank God on that. Has so many fun missions. Has a fun story element to it. Jak is still a fun character. The supporting casts are great. The mystery is great. The world is fun to explore. The lot of things you can do on this game are fun. Even the vehicle sections are actually a lot of fun this time around. They weren't just bullshit or just not fun to do with Jak 2. They actually end up being so much fun. Even the mini games end up being a lot of fun here as well. This game just puts a big grin on my face whenever I come back to it. We've driving through the wasteland, playing this mission, that mission, using this gun and that gun. Like, there's just so much to adore about this game that I could just put some stuff I could just put on right now and just play it. And Jak 3 is one of those games. I just think a lot of different games are better. That's why it's only number 41 on this list. But Jak 3 is still a fantastic game. And of course, I was going to put some Spider games on this list. And I debated just having the Spider game be just a trilogy on the original 3 games, or just putting the one entry on this list. But considering I'm not like the hugest on the original game, at least right now, it's a good to solid game. But I don't think the game that's hold out the best, honestly. I don't think this game that really came close to it, even though I do love it. I do enjoy playing it. So me, of course, I decided to have to be separate entries. With 40 being Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. A lot of people say this is probably the best Spyro game, and honestly, I can't argue with that, honestly. takes all elements of the original game and just elevates it in terms of the world, in terms of like storytelling, where there'll be a fun villain to explore, be a couple Spike having the fun moments here and there. You know, and it's gonna have like 3 worlds and a lot of 3 hub areas and a lot of different areas you can explore. The music is just majestic at times, like beautiful. It's been just a formula what you expect from a Spiral game at this point, and it really delivers. Of course, some levels are better than others, which is probably why I'm number 4 on this list, but hey, it's another game I can always see myself really come back to just 100% just like that. That's how fun it is. And now we go to another Resident Evil game, and that is the Resident Evil 2 Remake. Yeah, definitely how you do a remake right, you basically take all the good elements from the original and just amp it up, and makes for probably one of the most tense and clearer experiences ever. Maybe like, yeah, I wouldn't see myself come back to like the original games, but I can still definitely see myself come back to experiencing this and that, experiencing all the different lanes you go to, and all the different areas, and it's a really scary and terrifying experience, especially with Miss S coming through, and not much it has some of the most beautiful graphics ever. It's just a scary, terrifying experience. It proves that, hey, original games can actually be good, and 2 Remake definitely delivers. The original Red Dead Redemption by Rockstar. Yeah, I've not played many Rockstar games. Again, I've not played any Red Dead Auto games yet, so don't expect them. I did play 2, but I ran out of my doesn't like game just yet. But the original is still fantastic with an emotionally important story, fantastic characters, great writing, great side quests, great a lot of different many things you can do throughout the game. Incredible, it really makes you feel like you are in a general western, and it absolutely delivers. And now we get to another Final Fantasy game, and that is Final Fantasy X. Again, it's just coming by my first playthrough. I think also as right now I'm playing Final Fantasy 2, so it's not even that could potentially go up, honestly, the more I think about it. But as right now, I've only played it once because it is probably the longest Final Fantasy game, and there are times where it can feel long, but it's one of those games where the experience is still definitely worth it. Local Tournament combat is great, the characters are fantastic. Yeah, some elements about the biggest fan now, mostly well, mostly just from a few mini games. But as a whole, this game still has great combat again, emotionally telling story, beautiful, breathtaking music, and one of the most and again, it has a very emotional, poignant ending. Like it's not hard to see. I've seen a lot of people play this game for the first time this year, and it's not hard to see why this game is still fondly remembered many years later. And who knows? Maybe if I'll come back to it, it'll probably be high up on this list. Because right now, I think right now it's probably perfect for this game. I've also recently played a lot of Mario games, and now we get to one of my favorites on this list, and that is Mario vs. Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. Again, it's surprising that a couple of Mario vs. Rabbids ended up coming one of the most genuine surprises. I remember the original, and people were like, what? Really? Oh, this game's not gonna be that great, isn't it? But it ended up being a nice, genuine surprise too. Well, of course, we can sequel. I ended up playing this game day one, and I could not put it down for life for me. It's a game I'm still actually thinking about where I think it has more compelling narrative. Narrative surprisingly has some most varied combat, a lot of great stuff to do throughout the experience, a lot of different tactical stuff. Again, it's definitely different than the first one, but in a much better way. A lot of having some incredible bosses, great strategy to it, just what you can expect from a game like this. Now we get to what is my favorite Lego game, and that is Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. And it's definitely debate, honestly, I know this game definitely has guys hate it, and a lot of people definitely don't like it the more I think about it. But the more, and I did recently play this game, and honestly, I am enjoying so much more rewatching it. It's definitely an expansive game, that's for sure, but it's the perfect transition of what you expect from a Lego game, where there's so much combination you can do, so much levels you can explore, there's so much great stuff to explore in this game, and it makes for a great experience all around. Has some incredibly hilarious moments, that great Lego humor that you would expect a game like this to do. Again, I recently played it on stream, and I ended up loving my experience with this. So yeah, as of right now, it is my favorite game, honestly. Could definitely change, honestly, but with the great combat, the graphics, the levels, and everything, it definitely is the best Lego experience you can have. And now goes my favorite other game to my favorite Tomb Raider game, and that is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Again, I played through the entirety of this franchise a couple years ago, and I ended up enjoying the majority of the game. Still, there's something not that great, but it's definitely a mostly consistent franchise with me. With this game always be my favorite. I remember playing this game back in 2018 and I loved the experience of it. It's a game I can always see myself really come back to. I might play these games at some point down the road, but we'll see how that goes. But again, Rise of Tomb Raider I think it's a genuinely fantastic game with incredible, beautiful graphics, compelling narrative, some of the best elements of any Tomb Raider game, great stuff to explore, and fantastic DLC. DLC, great levels, great tombs. It's the perfect Tomb Raider package in my humble opinion. And now we go to a sequel that I remember like being excited for. I actually streamed the entirety of this game actually and loved every second of it. And that's Psychonauts 2. And I did play the original, and one thing is a damn good game. It's a game that I think definitely gets worse than what I think about it, mostly because of that dread final level. But this game is definitely a perfect package where you have some. It delivers everything that made the first one great and just expanded upon the world, expanded upon the characters you end up exploring. Like, it's a game where you basically go to people's heads and everything and explore through their mental aspects and stuff, and it absolutely delivers excellently on that front. That's what I love about the original. It's what I love about this game here. You also get great boss battles, great moments in general. Really does a great job of expanding the story, the lore, and also continue on with the story. And having some good surprises and some emotional, heartfelt moments. So, yeah, another game I can always see myself really come back to and just having a great time. And next I have number 2, which is my favorite Spyro game, and that is Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. A truly incredible sequel that, again, I've always said Spyro 3 to be my favorite of the original 3 games, and probably my favorite Spyro game, period. And I can see why people would not like it, mostly because of the multiple characters you do play as in this game, but I actually liked all of them, actually. I think they good job expanding the world, and the story, and the characters. Again, does it have some moments? Yeah. Again, it's that case where it could be nostalgia, where I can see the arguments why someone would. Well, I can't see the argument of why someone would prefer Spyro 2 over this. Just the replayability and the fun factor and the worlds and everything is what puts this above my opinion. You know, guys do those Spyro 2, but yeah, Dragon's the always the one I connected the most. And now at number 31, we have Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Pretty much, yeah, Uncharted 2's basic definition is how you do a sequel right. It takes everything that made the first one so great and really expands on the world, expands on Nathan Drake as a character, expands on the character building front. Again, it's pretty much put Uncharted on the map, and 15 years later, it's still a fantastic game to come back to. Better puzzles, better character development, less frustrating moments, beautiful graphics that still hold up 15 years later, and it's basically these games are basically like you're playing an actual blockbuster experience, and that's basically what you get. It's basically like a blockbuster experience, and there's a reason why a lot of games always do a good job inspiring yourself from this and everything, and you around get a great story with really great characters, fantastic music, and again, some bombastic, incredible action set pieces that made this franchise so noble. I love this entire franchise in general. And now we get the definition of a game that honestly could easily go much higher on this list. This game as a film that's finally beaten, and that is Nier Automata. Yes, I have Nier Automata on this list. And I finally finished my first ever playthrough of this game. I'm wanting to at least beat this game before I do the list, honestly. Again, I know this game that requires you to be like multiple times, but again, obviously, a lot of games I want to play and everything, but eventually I do want to go back and do all the other routes in this game, and honestly, it could end up being much higher on this list. Like, I don't think I need to say why this game is so great, because it is a fantastic experience, and a really deep emotional game with incredible combat, great world building, and fantastic characters. It's one I could never see myself growing on me, but as right now, I think No Dirty is the perfect spot for this game. Now at number 2, now we get to another beautiful game, and that is Ghost of Tsushima. Which again, I love this game. I remember playing so often when it came out, and it's a game that's one of the most beautiful experiences you'll ever come across in the current generation. Again, the graphics are just breathtaking. It's beautiful, incredible. The combat is great. The storytelling is great. It has some of the most emotionally devastating moments you've ever experienced in any video game. I mean, some of the tasks can be a bit repetitive at times, but as a whole, the stuff you do both is great. The world building is great. The storytelling is fantastic. That final battle, chef's kiss. There is any reason why I'm 29. Again, this is one I think the list gets pretty difficult, and the list gets really hard because there are a lot of games I really, really wanted to put high on this list. But then I remember other games like, where did I put this? So bear with me with these next few entries, but All in all, Ghost of Tsushima, incredible experience. Cannot wait for the spiritual sequel coming next year. And that's put the 2018, and that is the 2018 God of War. Again, I remember blowing everyone's minds away, and I remember playing it for the first time actually when it came out. Because one time I did play through the entire franchise, and it's also another God of War game you'll see up high on this list. And then the God of War 2 and 3 were in my. I remember I think God of War 2, or at least God of War 3 were in my honorable mentions. Because this is an incredible franchise that I can always see myself coming into games over and over again. I played through the entirety of the franchise, and I think all of them are great. With God of War 2018 being a fantastic game with taking Kratos and pretty much we're taking everything you know about Kratos and just expanding on his lore. On his lore, expanding on him as a character. The graphics are beautiful. It being shown in like a continuous shot was like incredibly unique and fantastic. The characters are great. The combat is great. The storytelling is great. The moments between Kratos and Atreus are fantastic. The boss battles are just kiss. And it's important that you don't have to like go into this game expecting you don't have to go into this game where I have played the games. And well, yeah, that probably makes some moments hit a little more harder, but you don't need to play the other games to know what's going on, which is I think it's a great job why Secret Share 2. Like you don't need to actually play the other game or give like maybe a little recap or something or this and that, but you don't need to play the other one. But as a whole, this is a fantastic game that another one I love coming back to. Now, at number 27, we get to a superhero game on this list, and that is Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, for the longest time, I really debated whether or not this was better than the original Marvel Spider-Man. As right now, I would say the original is just a little bit better, and you'll see that actually a little bit higher on this list. Spoilers, but I suppose because the game can be a little lacking in focus sometimes, honestly. But aside from that little thing, it's still a fantastic sequel that builds upon the elements of the original game, builds upon the characters, builds upon the storytelling. Like, I done but binge through this game when I first played it. It was around time I was taking a little streaming break, so I didn't end up streaming it. They did a great job to make you like balance between being Peter and Miles. The boss battles I think are generally fantastic. Throughout the season has some incredibly emotional, poignant moments in this series. Again, I did do like a top to best moments of the Marvel Spider-Man games. You guys want to check that out. The graphics are great. Again, the fast travel is just immaculate. And it's also a game I still use 100%. Actually, who knows, I might actually do that on stream at some point. We'll see how that goes. But as a whole, this is a game that I absolutely adore at the time. Again, maybe it could be still be better original. And we'll see what happens when I end up playing it. But as right now, I think 27 is the best option for this game at the moment. And we get to the definition of the game that I wish I could put much higher on this list because it is probably one of my most replayed games of all time, and that is Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Yeah, even I'm shocked that this game has been at 26 because this is, again, first off, this is the first ever Ratchet Clank game I've ever played. I play this game constantly growing up, and I still go back to this game constantly to this very day. I played this a few years ago, and it's still fantastic. I mean, it has frustrating moments in the end, and it does have a boss battle that I'm not particularly fond of, but it's still a game that delivers what a sequel should do. Should do and expand on the lore and the characters, the bumps Ratchet and Clank, and what goes on later in the series. It pretty much has the formula and template of what you can expect. Like, this game, what weapons actually do upgrade this time, how you get the big weapons in challenge mode, and the replayability, and the constant back and forth you have to do for this game. Like, there's so much greatness to this game. Again, hell, I could even be playing it right now as I'm filming this, because that's how awesome this game is. And I don't think there's any reason why it's only number 26. It's just probably a lot of games are better. And again, this is what, like I said before, this is where the list gets pretty difficult, people. So bear with me, but as a whole, I think 26 is the perfect place to put Going Commando. And now at 25, we got another Final Fantasy game, and that's Final Fantasy 9. Again, so Final Fantasy 10. It's a game that I can see boosted a lot higher if I end up playing it. Because it's definitely one of the more simple Final Fantasy games, but that kind of what makes it special. I remember the game, like I told the game definitely wasn't that the most because it was released like after it was released on PS1 about a year like after the PS2, about when the PS1 was dying or when PS2 came out. But it's a game that got a cult following and it's now very beloved. Like, I know a lot of people that end up playing this game for the first time, and it is an incredible experience with great combat, fantastic characters like VB's. Wow, I remember seeing some of these characters in Kingdom Hearts. Like, Oh yeah, I can see why they're iconic now. Yeah, it's that case where I think the final boss is probably the only reason why it's not higher, but it's something where basically everything else is so fantastic, along with having an incredible villain and fantastic moments, is what puts it as high. And now we get to another Kingdom Hearts game with 24, and that is Kingdom Hearts 3. My second favorite in the franchise, obviously. I remember this game being my most anticipated. I remember like almost like 5, 6 years ago. This game was my most anticipated game of all time. I was counting down the days and the minutes that this game would finally come out. Because I've anticipated since I beat Kingdom Hearts 2, like what's going to happen next, and the delays and delays and delays, and now it finally came out. And well, yeah, I will admit the game has its issues. It's a perfect combination of everything from the Dark Seeker Saga and Kingdom Hearts in general. Has some of the best fluid in combat and fight franchise, and the most beautiful graphics in any Kingdom Hearts game. Has one of the best final battles in any game I ever played, some of the best boss battles. Like, it's definitely one that I don't think it's gonna be for everybody, that's for sure, especially if you love the whole like Disney Final Fantasy aspect. But as a whole, I think it delivered on everything I wanted from a Kingdom Hearts game and what I wanted this game to be. And while I definitely can acknowledge its issues, maybe not every world's amazing, but I can say it's a game that will always hold much my heart and one I can always see myself come back to. And obviously, if I beat a Kingdom Hearts game, I might find 100%. We'll see how that goes. Now we can get to a Zelda game on this list, because a Zelda game did end up making this list. It's about the fourth. I played like 4 Zelda games as of right now. Like so far, I played in the video demo portion. I don't know if it ended up being my own mentions, honestly, but of course, you got Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, and Ocarina of Time. They're games I think are definitely great. Of course, they come I think one of my favorites, but I also think Skyward Sword is also an honorable mention on this list. But my favorite as right now is Majora's Mask. And again, another game on replay, it could boost up in the top 20. But again, this game is just really tense and interesting, and a game that's really on enough great time limits and everything, and really playing out what you want to do and everything, and it makes it so investing. Yeah, and Live on the Master is fantastic. Again, the game on screen is just like, whoa. I think it's one of the games I think still holds up incredibly well today, especially with the storytelling and what you expect from a Zelda game and having some top tier bosses. And I've definitely tried to potentially experience one of the Zelda franchise. And to be honest, if I actually did beat Tears of the Kingdom, I actually probably would have made this list. Again, so far I love what I experienced in that game, but I'm more common games I've beaten. But so as the Choice Mask, I think it's definitely experienced that. It's definitely more. Majora Mask is amazing. Emotions, gameplay, all amazing. The music's incredible. Definitely check it out if you want to get into the Zelda franchise. And now we get to my favorite Zelda game, to my favorite Batman Arkham game. It's now getting to the Arkham franchise. I think Arkham Knight was probably in my own mentions, and Silent and Orange is actually in the midst of the own mentions actually, even though I think they are great games. But my favorite is still Arkham City. I think it probably always will be the best Arkham game, and for good reason. It's a template of Asylum and really build upon it. Whether it be from the storylines, the characters, the mysterious lore and everything, and ways about these type of characters. The video explorer is fantastic. There's like so many stuff you can do in this game is insane. The combat is really improved and amazing. You get some great surprising moments. Again, and the ending still gives me emotions to this very day. That's the best like Joker moments ever in a Batman, in any like Batman game or Batman late content period. The great acting with all the characters. Again, our games are also managed to. One thing I also know about our games, they always manage to deliver incredible boss fights. And of course, Mr. Freeze and all the other is definitely an incredible boss fight. But you get so many great ones by this series as well. So many different things you can do as well with the combat characters and the side quests and a lot of the collectibles and everything and the Riddler trophies. Yeah, there's so much brightness in this game that I just can't help but get stuck getting whenever I come back to it. And now, the game that ended up missing the top 20, we have Resident Evil Village. And that game that I ended up playing through the first time on stream, and it basically is kind of like similar to Resident Evil 4, where it had a lot more action, but also great scares as well. And like Resident Evil 4 remake, they managed to balance both of them pretty well. Where you get some incredibly just tragic moments and like really scary, intense moments. Like there's a scene, especially in the midway point, that just like still gives me goosebumps to this very day. And a lot of tense great moments, great boss battles as well. Fantastic graphics, a really compelling narrative, great music. Final Boss is actually much better than Influence this time around. Again, that was definitely my favorite Resident Evil game. We'll get into that in top 20. It's pretty much the perfect Resident Evil package. Now we are in the top 20 people, and we get into a franchise that I definitely would want to play more of at some point down the road, as we have Yakuza 0. Again, eventually down the road, I definitely do want to play more of the Yakuza games. I definitely want to play through the entire series at some point down the road. Like, I don't mean to, but I keep forgetting to do so. But so far, Yakuza is the only one I played and beaten, and yeah, I can see why it's franchise. Like, it's definitely a franchise that's definitely like out there, insane, over the top, but in the best possible ways. This game is actually a prequel to the entire franchise, actually, explaining what happened because of the events of the previous games, of the later games, and you really feel a lot of the greatness that happens in this game. It's been a lot of greatness. Like, heroes are really great protagonists, and the characters are really memorable and very well thought out. The combat is great, a lot of different characters you can do. Like, it's one of those games where there's so much different things you can really do and experience. It's a very weird out there game, and from again, it's like the whole franchise in general. But so far from one game, I can see myself loving the majority of these games if they keep this pace. So yeah, Yakuza Zeros right now is the only Yakuza game I have played. And we'll see if the game ends up being it, but this game is just generally fantastic. And now we get to another game that I played for the first time this year, and that is Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. Again, it's another game that I can see myself coming back to, and one I can see actually be much higher on the ranking. It's basically a Studio Ghibli game brought to the video game form. That's basically the best definition. And obviously, I adore Studio Ghibli, like a lot of people do, so that was a game that was going to be beautiful and breathtaking from minute one, and it definitely is. The graphics are, again, feels like you're playing a Studio Ghibli movie in the best possible way. The characters are likable, the story is compelling, the combat, well, it may take some getting used to. Once you do, you just immerse in it, you're just addicted to it. Like, I literally could not put this game down when I play it. But I was able to beat it, and it's a game that I'll always hold a bunch of place in my heart. We'll see if it ends up being high if I end up playing it or when I do, but I'm happy I finally got to experience it. And now we get to another Final Fantasy, the second to last Final Fantasy game on this list, and that is Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. Basically my favorite anything to the Final Fantasy VII. I'm someone that pretty much appreciates the original more than I actually love it. Again, that's mostly because of how old the game is. I feel like I will love the game more if I replay it when it came out. And I love the remake. I actually ended up making my had to make a mention and as I'm filming this, I still have not played Rebirth because games be expensive. But Crisis Core is it's basically the definition of how you do a prequel movie. Sorry, it's the definition of how you do a prequel right. And it delivers basically what sets up the events of the previous games. You get Zachary, who's basically one of the most likable protagonists in any game period. Like, he's one of those characters where it's really hard to hate. And you got a unique combat system and everything, and manages to deliver one on great fronts. Great combat's great. The different things you can do in this game are great. The boss battles are great. The graphics are fantastic. Again, funny, I actually ended up finally beating the PSP version when they announced they were going to do like a modern version of the game, which can make the game more accessible. And you get like so many great, fantastic character moments. And you get ending that's just a great job leading to the events of Final Fantasy VII. And that's what a prequel should do. Again, then again, I can see myself coming back to I'm really not stop on game. I think originally I had to get much higher until I remember a few other games, but it's still a fantastic game. And I mentioned the game before again, and that's Marvel Spider-Man coming in at number 17. I would say probably my favorite superhero game right now at the moment. I think originally I had to get my top 10 at one point. But again, I remember like how great other games were and ended up dropping, but that's the takeaway the fact that this game is still fantastic. And I remember I bought this game day one and I was super hyped that a game by Insomniac, who by the way has done the Ratchet Clank franchise, was going to do a Spider-Man game. Like, count me in. And it managed to be part of my favorite Spider-Man experience ever. Where I think it has probably the best portrayal of any Spider-Man character ever. Some of the best portrayals of any of these characters, period. You get fantastic boss battles, great open world to explore, a great quest to do. And one that really, again, I think the best superhero games are the one that actually makes you feel like you are playing the superhero. That's what the Batman Arkham series has done, where they make you feel like you're Batman, and that's what Marvel Spider-Man does, where they make you feel like Spider-Man. It does have the similar combat to Arkham games, but just more Spider-esque, but in the best possible way. The music is great, the web swing is just phenomenal. Like sometimes I would just spend an hour just web swinging through the city and not do anything. That's just how fun it is. And it's game like again, Spider-Man 2, I always see myself playing back to it. I did end up 100% in this game, and I also did DLC as well. Also, Screwball, screw you. But yeah, Marvel Spider-Man is truly a one-kind superhero experience. And so, and again, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time, so I can't always see what else they have in store. And I'm sure we'll get at least like one more game, so we'll see how that goes, but as long as it's good these games, I'm all for it. I might just skip on the list, but we have the original Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. Again, similar to Jak 2 3, I played this game constantly growing up, and it's a game I still love coming back to. And it's one of the games that 100% constantly, but that's because it's so fun to still 100%. Great platforming, great storytelling, really compelling narrative. Daxter was an incredible character, incredible supporting character. A lot of the characters even on the way are very memorable, but short or long appearances. Tasks you can do are pretty great. Well, yeah, still was better than us, obviously, but it's definitely a game that honestly I think has aged better than more goes along. Really brought a great franchise. I'm still waiting for a new Daxter game at some point or anything involved in this series because I absolutely adore this experience, collecting this and that, experience this and that again. It's getting that puts a big grin on my face every time I come back to it. Hell, I might play again at some point. Hell, I might stream it again, honestly. So, hey, we'll see how that goes. And now we get to a game that I end up being a lot better. Like, I think this game actually being tied with another game of this franchise we'll get into high on this list. And that is the first Life is Strange game to make this list, and that is True Colors. Which game I'm gonna be like so in love when I first played. Again, I ended up playing through the entirety in one stream or one day at least, but True Colors, I think, is an incredible experience that has incredible characters. Because Alex ended up being not an incredibly relatable character, with her actually feeling emotions this time around. Again, it pretty much feels very similar, especially when it involves a mystery, but you end up really caring about what the characters and what's going on and everything. The supporting cast is great. Again, Stephanie, who ended up being a character that appeared in Before the Storm, ends up becoming a lot more developed here. A lot of different supporting characters who can help with experience are fantastic. As well, the graphics are great, the music's fantastic, you get so many beautiful, poignant moments. And, moments, it's a moment that you actually wouldn't expect. Actually, that's a little turn-based RPG thing they decided to do in this game, which is crazy if you really think about it. But again, and there's really no reason why True Colors 15 again, just I want it better, but True Colors is one I like the original. I'll always see myself come back to. And now we're going to talk about two horror games on this list, so I decided to talk about both of them. 14 being the Resident Evil 4 remake, which as of right now is my favorite Resident Evil game actually. Having it, having played the game through, it's yeah. A lot of people would, yeah. I'm someone that definitely thought the original was great, but never was fully in love with it. That's only because again, there's some games that I wish I could love more, but I don't know, it's because of the time they came out, or I'm just not like really vibing with it. I just never like came in love with them. That's how I felt with the original game, but with Full Remake, I can definitely vibe with it. It definitely, it's really mostly the same as the original, just with some added tweaks to it. And they managed to deliver an incredible experience that really expands on certain elements of the original game. Actually, isn't really as annoying at all in this game. The, the scary sequences are great. The action sequences are fantastic. Like, it was what a remake basically should do. Whether you think of this thing or not, it's definitely a memorable experience. And three remakes, we have The Last of Us. Again, right now, I have not played part 1 against as I'm filming this. So I do plan on shooting him on Halloween, and maybe I might finish it afterwards, but we'll see how that goes. But, what can I say Last of Us? I haven't already been said. And it's fortunate it only has to be number 13 on this list, but again, I don't think I need to say more Last of Us. It's still an incredible masterpiece. But do I even need to say it? And now at number 12, we get to another Ratchet & Clank game. And that's probably, as of right now, the most replayed one, and that is Up Your Arsenal. In my opinion, this is the best of the three original games. and one I've always seen myself going back to. I've constantly gone back to this game time and time and time and time and time. Yeah, I'm 100% this game time and time and time again. And yeah, it never gets old. That's great about live action games, that they never get old. Like, even the Warriors Kid franchise, I can just enjoy coming back to, even if some of them kind of bad or some of them not that great. I just love experiencing these worlds, these characters, and the guns and everything. And I also know it's definitely one of the best, having a great story, having great performing characters, a lot of fun planets to explore, and yeah, another perfect Ratchet and Clank package here. With some of the best boss battles in the entire franchise are here, some of the best weapons are here, and well, it definitely can have issues here and there, but it's a game that I just still adore coming back to, that those issues don't even matter to me. And you know, I think, again, the point is later, honestly, it gets better with time, honestly. And hell, I even enjoyed the multiplayer actually when it came out. I played the multiplayer a lot with my brother growing up. So it's a definitely special game to me that it kind of paid me to leave it on top 10, but I'll be honest, it's still a phenomenal game. And now we get to the game that just missed on top 10 and another recent game, and that is Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. As right now, this is my favorite Paper Mario game and my favorite Mario game, period. Yeah, again, I think I wouldn't have to give it a top 10, but it's still a fantastic game that I absolutely loved playing through. And it's crazy that they ended up remaking this game, and I was definitely excited to play for the first time. And it's just as amazing as everybody says it is. And the people Mario games are known for having actually, and most of the Mario games are just very simple with not much story. But Mario games do have incredible stories. Like the original one was definitely great with storytelling, and it's one of the few games that just missed out top 50. And As You Adore basically ends up having a very emotional story with fantastic memorable characters, fantastic worlds to explore, and with great interesting gimmicks, but that makes them all stand out so much more. A lot of great side content to do, a lot of great interesting dynamics to do, and all that has some challenging moments. Like, it's a very compelling experience that I love experiencing, and one I can always see myself just come back to constantly, constantly, and constantly. Hell, I might play right now, honestly. So, yeah, overall, As You Adore, I think it's still an incredible experience. Yeah, just went down top 10, but I'm happy I finally got to play it. And now, we get to the top 10, people. My top 10 favorite video games of all time. And let's just get straight to it. At number 10, we have a game I almost got to put on the list actually, but should I even put it on the list? But screw it. I have Yu-Gi-Oh! Lazy the Dust. You know, it's funny about that I absolutely adore Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think I really talked about it all on this channel, honestly. Honestly, I might do a video on the shows at some point. I'm actually currently watching the anime, and I might do some videos on that at some point down the road, so stay tuned for that. But Lazy the Duelist is a game I remember like super excited when I found out about it, mostly because this game actually lets you replay a lot of duels from the actual animes. Yes, they let you play a lot of duels. It may not entirely every duel, but they let you play some of the most big important duels in the anime. It's not just the original anime, but DX, 5Ds, Zexo, R5, and Brains. They let you replay all of those battles, which it makes for an exciting game that I love to come back to. Again, the fact that again, it's basically a perfect Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime fanboy's dream. And considering I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime fanboy, mostly of the original, it makes for a game that I loved experiencing, and I still do love coming back and playing some of these duels. Like I'm actually like playing battling Kaiba, battling Darts, battling this guy, that guy. It's just so incredible. Being incredible, at number 9, we have The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, I expect Last of Us Part 2 to be better than Part 1. Sue me. Please don't sue me, by the way. And I found that this game actually originally was number 3 on this list, actually. And again, it's another game that basically didn't drop because I disliked it or nothing being changed. I just think the other games ended up being better in hindsight, but Last Part 2 I think is still an incredible game. I know, I understand how divisive it is. I can definitely see why people be pissed in certain moments or not happy with certain moments or the pacing and everything. Maybe it can be a bit too long at times, I will land that. But the emotions, the uniqueness, and the storytelling and the messages it tries to display, it makes one game that I just adore experiencing and come back to. Again, I can see why some people would find just despise this game. game, but all in all, Part 2 is truly a memorable experience that I'll say I won't replay constantly, but when I do, I just like, oh, I wish I could play this game for the first time again. And speaking of that experience, because I'll say the same thing for my number 8, and that is my favorite God of War game, that is God of War Ragnarok. The fact that it's a big game just as good, if not better than 2018, really just shows how great that studio is. Like, Ragnarok is a truly incredible game. It takes all the elements that made that one so great, and they managed to somehow make it even better, honestly, which the fact that they will do that is pretty impressive and incredible to witness. Again, the graphics are just beautiful, breathtaking. It continues on the narrative and the characters of the previous game, the stuff that was set up in the first game. It was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yes. The villains are great. The character development is fantastic. Everything we do, be Kratos and Atreus is just beautiful and wonderful. One of the best relationships in any form of media ever. See how much characters have grown throughout this series and how it just ends. Oh my god, dude, get me started. You also have some epic, incredible boss battles, fantastic pacing. But that game, again, there's like so much you can explore and do, and I definitely do 100% the game at some point. But yeah, Ragnarok, truly memorable experience. And now we get to another Ratchet and Clank game coming in number 7, and we get to the recent Ratchet and Clank game that is Rift Apart. Yes, I have Rift Apart at number 7 on this list. And it was definitely a debate, honestly, but again, Rift Apart is just an incredible game that I absolutely adore. The fact that I was happy I got to experience it. I really wish I streamed it, honestly. I don't know why I did, honestly. I don't even remember why I did. I think I was going for a weird mental blur at the time, but Rift Apart is truly one hell of a game. Delivering what makes AI playing so good, Rivet ends up becoming a great character that's not just a female Ratchet. Even Kit ends up becoming a great character as well. Gets so many great, fantastic moments with these characters. The guns are great. The graphics, oh my god, the graphics! And the music, like, yeah, another perfect wrestling package, which basically delivers what you expect from this franchise, but in the best possible way. And you don't need to play any of the previous games to go into this. And while it does have references, you don't need this. Could be the perfect game to, if you definitely want to get into this franchise, this is the perfect one to get into for. And now we go to my favorite God of War game, my favorite Ratchet game, to my favorite Uncharted game at number 6, which is Uncharted 4 at Thieves' End. Yeah, I know a lot of people go back and forth whether they think Uncharted 2 is better or this game is better, but again, I've always loved Uncharted 4. You know, I binged through the entire Uncharted franchise when I got my own PS4, and it ended up coming with Uncharted 4, and the next day I got the 3 collection. And Uncharted 2 was definitely amazing, but 4, again, it means it was just pure emotion, where I dived deep into Nate's fake psyche, got to meet Barry him again, got to see all the complex that comes with everything involving that, and learning more about Drake's past and everything, and the back and forth between the relationships and everything. Like, it's my like you got it, really underrated villain Ray, Dean is great, again, Sully's still great. Great character moments, fantastic act, the crazy action that you expect from a Uncharted franchise still here. But you get a very real and emotional experience with some of the most poignant moments in all of the Uncharted franchises. With all of the Uncharted franchises, you get some of the most poignant and emotional moments. I mentioned the music is some of the best in the franchise. You get some like really shocking moments. It's an epic final battle, just what you expect in an Uncharted game and more. And now we get to the top 5, people. If I remember, number 4 are 2 classic JRPGs that, of all the games I will say I probably put the most hours into playing. And it's games I might make like dedicated videos to at some point down the road. I might do nostalgia road trips on them down the road. But number 5, we got The Legend of Dragoon. Again, I might do this again. I'm not gonna get too much into these 2 games because I might do nostalgia road trip videos on them at some point down the road. But The Legend of Dragoon, I think, is an incredible game. A classic, great JRPG. Addition system is fantastic. Great characters, great boss battles. I played the constant shares game so much. I also broke and I bought it so many times growing up. And, you know, gotta get good there. And then we get to the year 2 Final Fantasy Tactics. is I grew up playing Final Fantasy Tactics. It's the fact that it took me forever to actually play through a legitimate Final Fantasy game. It took me forever. Like, this game is the first Final Fantasy game I ever played, and one I probably say I spent the most hours in any game, period. Hell, I could be playing this game right now if I want to, but that's just how fantastic it is. I'm gonna do nostalgia road trips at some point, so I'm not gonna get too much into each of these games, but there are two games that hold a special place in my heart. And now we get to the legitimate top 3 favorite video games, in my opinion, of all damn time. All damn time. All damn time. And the first one, and number 3 on this list, we have my favorite Ratchet and Clank game. I can end up making my top 3 after we played the game very recently, and that is A Crack in Time. Again, basically say everything I said about a Ratchet and Clank game is just like put in here. Yeah, the guns are great, the wolves are great, the plants are great, the characters are great, some of the best storytelling in any Ratchet and Clank franchise, in any of the games. Again, the graphics are fantastic, the storytelling is great. I spent so much time and hours playing through this game. Again, it's now been 15 years since Crack Time came out, so yeah. Overall, fantastic experience, masterful Ratchet Clank game. And then we get to my top 2, and basically my top 2 are pretty much my pretty definitive top 2, honestly. With my number 2 now going to my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, and that is Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2. The perfect Kingdom Hearts game that takes everything great about the original and just improves every aspect. The combat is insane in this game, like incredibly insane. The forums, the worlds, the exploration, a lot of the different things you can do in these games, a lot of different mechanics and everything, a lot of the fun aspects you can explore and experience. And while it does lead to some elements that might be confusing if you look back on it, you still get some incredible story building moments and great character moments, and incredible and the big pump, along with having an incredible final battle, but probably my favorite final boss in any game, period. And Kingdom Hearts 2 is a game that means so much. I might do nostalgia road trips on. I think a lot of games I might do nostalgia road trips on videos at some point down the road, so expect that coming very soon. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is truly a one-of-a-kind experience that I love replaying and love coming back to. Well, there it is, folks. We have it. My number 1 favorite video game of all damn time is, if you know me sure the answer right now, is the original Life is Strange. Yes, the original Life is Strange is my favorite video game of all damn time. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video about that at some point down the road, so stay tuned for that. But again, the original Life is Strange means so much to me. It's one of the few games on this list that's helped me through many tough times in my life. I played back in 2018, and it's probably a personal journey of mine. A personal game that just touches so much messages and stuff that I personally relate to. And like I mentioned before, those are stuff I connect to so much. So why, as another game where I definitely kind of acknowledge the flaws. It's one thing that the flaws actually add to the experience, in my opinion. I think there's just so much nuance and beauty with this game that I just adore. Again, I might make a video talk about it somewhere down the road, but really from the messages, the moments, the storytelling, the characters, the music, all of this to a perfect package that makes Life is Strange, in my opinion, my number 1 favorite game of all time. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing my top 50 favorite video games of all time. It was a lot of fun to actually do this list, actually, but I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you have video games down in the comments. Let me know any video games you think I should be on this list, I should play. Again, there's so many video games out there, that's why I took a while to do this list, but since I did movies, might as well do video games as well. And somewhere down the road, and maybe at some point I might do TV shows as well. Hell, I might even do one for music as well, so that one might be a tough one to do, so stay tuned for those coming very soon. I have a lot of exciting videos and projects coming away very soon. I am Sam One World from Simple Productions. I will see you next time as always. Stay cool about that. Peace.